Morning, afternoon, whenever you find us here on AbA Podcast. This is Money, Rax, and the Iceman Kahuna. Damn, he looking good over there. You know what else is looking good? Doc Rivers' paycheck versus performance. You know what else is looking good? Luka Doncic's jumper.
Oh, you were fucking
Had to compliment him.
And that behind the back pass.
You know what's looking better is Anthony Edwards' jumper.
Anthony Edwards is not better than Luka. Get off that shit now. We're not starting that podcast this
I
way.
never said he was better. Said he was better. I just said he's more deserving of the All-Star.
Flag.
There's no flags in this sport. Get
There's
the fuck out.
flag.
Go find a whistle.
We're not allowed to talk about Luka. We're not
allowed.
allowed to mention Luka or Ant on this podcast.
God damn it. Hey, you know what's worse than ants in your pants?
We could talk Timberwolves, we could talk Mavs, but we can't talk about those two.
That's fair. That's fair. What we actually intended to talk about, though, was the trade deadline coming to fruition. I know it was February 8th, but I think that it really started January 17th when the Raptors traded Pascal Siakam to the Pacers in a 3-team deal. Bruce Brown got moved, Jordan Nwora got moved, and then some picks, some cash. I think that was kind of big. That set it off, because then the same day you saw the Heat get Terry Rozier for Kyle Lowry in a first-rounder, lottery protected. But it's just been kind of crazy right now. So my question to you, gentlemen, is kicked off January 17th, but besides those two early deals, out of the more recent deals, who do you think's making the biggest impact? What was your favorite trade?
You know, I'll take this one first. There's a couple for me. Yeah. The big one right now is New York Knicks. You know, they're fucking deep. They're going to make a playoff run.
How deep?
They got Alec Burke. Or Burks.
There's an S on the last name, no S on the first name. Alec Burks.
Alec Burks. There we go.
There you go.
They got another guy. I forget who that was. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
It's really good. Bojan Bogdanovic. Yeah. There's two Bogdanoviches. You got Bogdanovic, and then Bojan Bogdanovic. And I think Bojan's been around a little.
Bogdanovic is what we should start calling him.
Well, so what's crazy about Bogdanovic, so Bogdan means like gift from God, and then Bogdanovic means son, like Vich means son of, so it's like gift of God, like son of gift from the gods. That's Bogdan's name. But then you have Bojan, who probably means something similar anyway. I digress. That was a pretty big trade. I think the Knicks have done huge things. They got, OG Anunoby way before January 17th. That was huge. Yeah. Adding these pieces for really like giving up not a whole lot of young talent, not a whole lot of
first round picks, kept all their good players except for RJ.
Yeah, they gave up barely anything. They gave up a couple old players. That's about it. They're deep. They're young. They've got the talent to push in their conference. I think they're going to be really, really good. That's the first trade. The second one that I was shocked to see was Buddy Hield to the 76ers. I think that could be a really, really good move. It puts a outside threat in the mix. Joel Embiid's going to come off an injury. He's going to have a little bit less workload, I think. I think
just being able to trade.
I think it is too. I think they'll eventually move him again.
Not even like that. I think that it's a trade for next year. Joel's shut down for 4 weeks. If he comes back healthy, it looks really good for this year. If not, you got Buddy Hield next year on the perimeter with all them other dogs, Tobias Harris, Maxey.
And then you have Tyrese running full point with the true shooting guard. Yeah,
exactly. Spreads the floor for the big man a little bit better.
Yeah.
That was a really, really good trade to watch. They really didn't give up much. Who did they give? Was it Marcus Morris and someone else? Yeah, Marcus Morris and Furkan Korkmaz.
Who, by the way, just got the keys to the city a day ago or something.
3-team trade. So Doug McDermott and Furkan went to the Pacers. Marcus Morris went to the Spurs. And then there's a bunch of picks and cash. But
3 second-round picks.
Doug McDermott, dude, I always forget that guy's still balling.
Wet ball shooter, bro. Wet ball shooter since day one.
Dude, I loved him at Creighton.
Creighton. He was, he was one of them white schools.
I'll never forget. His dad was the coach.
Creighton. They hate on Creighton. They hate on Creighton.
Okay,
but
Steven,
my favorite, to go back to trades, my favorite trade of the deadline was definitely Gordon Hayward.
Huge.
Massive trade. I think it's a really good, Thunder get a 6-man kind of off-day replacement. Just a really great piece. I mean, he's not who he was, but you get Gordon Hayward and you give up pretty much nothing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I mean,
Um,
he's a guy that's capable of any night going out and giving you 20 to 30 still. I would not want to guard him. He's 6'8", has athleticism. He's a
And
problem.
he's not coming off. He's not starting for you. He's coming off the bench, and he
Yeah,
can
dude,
give
I
you
mean,
30.
just OG right-handed Manu Ginobili. And that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying, too. So, anyway.
yeah.
I think my favorite trade, and this is going to sound crazy, but it's a reunion, I believe. I think Royce O'Neal, and I could be wrong on this. There's a
I
few
was gonna
small
say I missed
forwards.
this
I get
trade. I love
confused.
this trade.
But yeah, he's back with the Suns, and that's pretty big, you know. Whether they're playing him alongside those other, you know, three guys, he can fit into that because he can guard somebody, rebound, play a little bit bigger than himself on defense, but also play smaller than himself on offense and spread the floor. You know, very similar to like Bruce Bowen. He reminds me a lot of a Bruce Bowen. Really, that's the highest compliment for a 3-and-D player, I think. And I just think that kind of helps fill a hole that team had. You know, they still don't really have a whole lot of depth, but that's something that slowly but surely, since the acquisition of Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, they've been trying to bolster that roster, and I think they've made leaps and bounds. I think that team's playing well, and they're scary. Nobody. It's kind of like they say about the Lakers. They say about some of these lower tier seeds. I wouldn't want to see the Lakers. I wouldn't want to see the Mavs. I definitely wouldn't want to see the Suns. All those
well,
teams scare the out of me come
the
playoff
big
time.
thing about the Lakers is I think they skipped the trade deadline mainly because of the resurgence of D'Angelo Russell, like over the last 10
that
games,
and Rui.
22. Yeah,
Him and Rui
Rui's
are
back there.
well.
I mean, you got Reeves, you got LeBron's. I don't know if I can say it, but LeBron's white boy, put it like that.
I was really worried about what you were going to say there.
Yeah,
I had to word it properly. But I don't know if you guys noticed.
Canceled 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
The other trade
Fire
too.
one listener.
You said LeBron, and it made me think about Spencer Dinwiddie for some reason, but he's a Raptor now, and that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Yep.
And I think
also, what's
he's
crazy, Steven Adams is a Rocket? Yeah,
I think they wanted him for like leadership and toughness because, like, I don't know, like
teach the boys. Yeah,
none of these young cats really scream tough at me. You know,
was it PJ Washington that went to?
Yeah,
I don't know how big that was. The other really big.
That's like one of those like purgatory trades. Like I don't know how much better he makes them, but I don't know if he's gonna make them worse.
I think the locker room stuff with Grant Williams is real, so I think it might be a big addition by subtraction kind of move.
Yeah, I mean, you were pointing that out earlier in the text messages and stuff.
Yeah, we were talking about that in our group chat, but I really think that's probably going to be a play here.
Yeah,
and that was something I guess I was unfamiliar with.
And the other thing I wanted to throw out, I think the Grizzlies are setting themselves up really nicely for next season.
Oh yeah, with Utah Watanabe.
Just a lot of pieces now.
Yeah, they moved a lot.
I'm fond of Desmond Bain. I'm fond of what do they have? They have G.G. Jackson and Jaren Jackson.
They got a lot of nice players.
They basically have the Jackson Five: Ja Morant, Jackson. They got fucking Michael Jordan Jackson. They're ready, bro. They're ready.
They got their ABCs down. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, bro.
I think the other big trade too that we're not talking about, and it's not a huge trade by any means, but I think it's going to have a lot bigger like implications in the conference in general. But that was just Pat Beverly going to the Bucks. I think the defensive presence he brings. Holy crap!
Here's the crazy thing, dude. It's like Dame gets just postered on, right, for like lack of defense and effort. But it's who's the other guard? And it's Malik Beasley, and he ain't doing shit either. I got news for you fellas. Okay. And so it's Brook Lopez, frustrated as hell with his backcourt constantly. It's Giannis, who's in and out of the lineup because he's a big, oddly injured guy. Dame's been out since Doc got there, basically. Like, the team needs something, and I hope Pat Beverly's a chip on their shoulder. I hope he really brings it every day to practice, raises the intensity and the expectation of the level that you're supposed to play at. And if not, they're running 2 point guards. You're going to have Dame playing shooting guard and Pat Beverly standing in the corner on offense so he can play defense. It's going to be really great.
Also, just a weird one. Brook Lopez probably pretty unhappy today because Robin Lopez got traded to the Kings.
Yeah, traded and waived. He is now on waivers.
Yeah, Pat Beverly and Robin Lopez were teammates for like half a second.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's probably not that mad. I think that they both know that their career longevity is at a certain level for each
they're
of
at
them.
the end.
And it's so funny because like they went like this in a weird way, and like Brook came in and he was really hounded on for not being able to defend and rebound the ball at the level you'd expect a 7-footer, but he had elite offense, especially on the perimeter with the mid-range jumper. I don't know if you remember when he was young. In the end of his career, he's a 3-point shooter and a huge defender.
Yeah.
You know, he just understands his rotations. And like Robin came in as just solely a defense guy. Couldn't make a dunk when Steve Nash handed him the ball. And that's no offense. Like, he played his role beautifully.
I hated him in 2K. He sucked.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can hate him all you want in 2K. Great afro, amazingly hilarious human being. You know, I don't know how they're twins and one of them has an afro and the other one's just bald, but I guess
the other one looks like he was in the military.
Bro, you know who Robin Lopez looks like? Is Sideshow Bob. Hair sticking out 18 fucking different ways. Kodak blackened.
Seriously, dude.
His Hovan is woke shit.
So here's my next question, kind of segment it's in the next portion of this. There's a few people expected on buyouts. You got Kyle Lowry. You got Spencer Dinwiddie. He's going to be bought out, it looks like.
It's funny. It's so funny.
You got Harry Giles, who's on waivers already. I think he's going to
it's Giles, by the way.
Giles. Whatever you do in your mic right now sounds like shit. You got Robin Lopez, who's going to be on waivers as well. Obviously, we talked about him a little bit. There's a lot of names out there. I kind of think that the Lakers purposely didn't make any moves during the trade deadline because they saw this kind of unfolding. They saw they get some help, whether it be Kyle Lowry or Dinwiddie, or somebody like that. Even honestly, they don't need Robin Lopez. I don't want to put that out there, but it's going to be interesting to see the next stages of all this and where everybody goes. And I don't know. I kind of want to get you guys' input on where you think people are going to end up, or if you guys know names of people who might be waived and what you guys are thinking.
I mean, that's the thing. A lot of the times when people get bought out at this point, like teams have kind of made the changes that they're going to make. And, you're really looking for like just veteran depth. So like the championship contending teams like the Celtics and the Lakers, the Bucks, the people that consider themselves the upper echelon are going to look at guys like that and the finances and try to make it work. But at the end of the day, the money has to work too. Even though they got bought out, they're not just going to sign a free contract, So teams have to have cap space. They have to have roster space. And for some of these names, like a Kyle Lowry, like you don't bring him on to not come and shoot threes and, run at least your second string offense. With a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie, it's the same thing. So I don't know. I could see the Lakers adding one of those two guys. I really could. I could see the Celtics having a little bit of interest.
I'd love to see the Celtics add Dinwiddie. It probably wouldn't happen, but
I just don't think they need him necessarily. I think that's like subtraction by addition, because
especially because Peyton Pritchard, I think, is leading the team or the league in net rating this year. Like he's fucking out of his mind.
I thought it was Derek White was. He was like Derek White was up there in plus minus.
All I know is Peyton Pritchard's been playing really well off the bench.
He's an incredibly high IQ basketball player with a great shot.
I'm kind of burning myself here because I've put hate on Peyton Pritchard in some other group chats.
Yeah, that's all right.
But mostly from previous seasons of watching him just hold the ball. But yeah, I'd love to see Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, what team is like sitting there like, I don't want that guy. He's a great player. So
yeah, I think the two hot names are the two we're kind of already talking about, which is going to be Kyle Lowry and then Dinwiddie as well. So
is Lowry bought out?
They're expecting him to be bought out. Yeah,
they're anticipating.
So
Gallinari out there too.
Oh, Danilo.
Who?
Danilo Gallinari.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, solid player. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up, though. I mean, like, it wasn't in terms of like trade deadlines we've even seen recently that huge of one, but there was definitely some underrated moves and some teams that got better, some teams that are setting themselves up for future success, and only time will tell.
I think this was a more exciting than usual trade deadline, but just there wasn't like the big splash that's like
it was a ton of action with just like those mid, like I won't say mid because they're pretty decent players, but like
the OG Anunubis, not the the next level guys.
Well, that's the thing. So like if OG Anunoby and Siakam and all them all got traded on the trade deadline, yeah, like that's crazy. But it's like some of the bigger ones happened before the deadline, like I was saying, and so I think maybe I was expecting some bigger trades and maybe some some bigger name teams to make some bigger trades. But
it's also, I always forget the NBA is not like the NFL NBA deadlines where the big splashes happen kind of towards the end as time is clock, getting down to the end.
It's weird. In the NBA, there's just so many. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
In the NBA, there's just so many moving pieces. Not in the NFL that there's not more. Obviously, the rosters are way bigger.
Yeah.
But the way that the trades operate in the CBA and it's almost like the value that a team puts on a player isn't as universally agreed upon in the NBA as it is in the NFL, and same things with picks and same things with young players. It's really weird, and I think that's probably due to the smaller roster size. There's not as much importance, there is more importance on a player than in football. So it's just.
I think the other side to that. I think the other side to that too is like if you look at a basketball roster, you're seeing two things in the NBA for a couple of reasons, right? One, you're seeing a balance of power across the NBA where each team has like those one or two superstars. Where at the trade deadline, I won't say each team because not every team has one or two.
Just don't say superstar. So there's only five of those guys.
Okay, so each team has one or two of their franchise players that they're obviously going to keep and build around, right? Because it's a lot easier to build around that. And then so now at the trade deadline, what you're seeing is just a lot more of these role players coming through, and they're moving role players who are averaging those 15, 16 points, 10, not 10, but like 8, 6, and whatever. So you have those guys that are moving around. They're moving around that sixth man and stuff like that. So that's like a testament to the balance in the NBA of developing, each team's franchise players or whatnot. And then the other thing to it is like, if you look at it across, God, I actually just forgot my whole second point. I'm just going to skip that.
This happens often. It's the earliest onset dementia we've actually ever recorded. I'm glad we got this on camera.
Where are we? No, I'm just kidding. No, I actually did forget my second point, though. I kind of lost track there.
That's all right. Sorry.
What happens when you go on a tangent? But anyway, with that being said, I feel like we kind of covered trade deadline pretty well. What are you guys thinking? You guys got anything else to add?
I love the Celtics move. I think the only thing, Jaden Springer, great move. I actually love him. Younger than most guys getting drafted this coming year, and a super good defender. So
are they NBA champions?
I like the move a lot. Not so much for this season. I think he's going to be great in the playoffs. Like if we need to, sick him on a superstar for a few minutes to give Tatum a break or something, or Jalen a break.
Even then, just have him for the years to come too. Like
exactly, that's where I'm looking. Is like if we can develop this guy even to just have a 3-point from the corner. Oh,
that's all you need, baby. That's all you need. It's the shortest shortest distance.
Oh God, dude.
Shortest distance.
Well, watch the fuck out next year if he can develop a jumper. So I like that move. And then you guys have heard me liking the Tillman trade. I mean, I'm sucking off my Celtics. What's new?
To say as a Lakers fan, I think my favorite move was Pat Beverly to the Bucks. I think that's a win now mentality. I think it fixes pretty much it doesn't fix it, but it helps fix their biggest void, which is defensive efficiency rating. They don't need him to go out there and score. They got Dame time. They got Giannis. That offense obviously runs through them. The defense is not running through them. So Pat Beverly can kind of motivate these young Bucks, get in there, show them hardcore basketball, move the rock. I think that's a win now mentality. I think that was the biggest trade of the deadline. So
yeah, and as a Celtics fan, I love all these other moves from the East because nobody scares me.
Yeah, no, I mean, if anything, the Bucks, like, I don't know, man, the whole Doc Rivers thing.
I'm feeling nice about it.
Yep, Celtics had one of the easiest paths they've had in a couple of years.
Like I said, if a finals berth at minimum is cataclysm failure, a finals loss is failure. There's no reason to lose this year.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
These Boston fans be different.
Bruh.
Boston sucks.
There's no reason we should lose this year. We have the same team, but poor God, but no Marcus Smart.
You're gonna come to the podcast and be like, "I'm so hot right now. My Boston is winning the championship. I'm so hot.
I'm hyped up.
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart.
I need to get some smart memorabilia, dude. I love that guy.
Smart memorabilia.
I don't give a shit what you think. That guy's the heart of the team. He's a great person.
He doesn't even play there, and he's still the heart. I hear he shows up at their practices just to talk shit to JB.
Dude, he would. We love him. We love Marcus Smart.
And on that note, ABA podcast, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Marcus, come on the pod.
Please. Dad.